I'm legally insane. And I just spent the last 20 years of my entire life telling the CEO of Sega to start remaking, remastering, and re-releasing the old Sega classics. We're talking Sega Genesis, and I didn't stop there. I'm talking Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, all the way up to the Sega frickin' Dreamcast. Just give us those old classics back. The Sega charm, the games that had Sega charm. We don't get those anymore. You've let too many franchises go dead. You've let them go dormant because apparently you don't like printing money. What I'm about to show you is so shocking and so mind-blowingly insane. Some of you will not even survive to the end of this video. And for those that do survive, you're going to want to wear an adult-sized diaper, extra absorbent. Kids' diaper won't do it. Don't cheap out on the kids' diaper. I know adult-sized diapers. I know they're not cheap. Guys, with inflation the way it is, they're very expensive, but they're worth it. So Sega has finally decided that they love to print money. Holy hell, it's been a long time. The last time they decided they loved to print money was when they gave us Sonic Mania. And then they decided they don't like money again because they said, well, okay, we only did that because the fans wanted it, and it's the only reason we were even profitable that year, which I believe was 2017. Don't quote me on that. Pretty sure it was. And they would have lost money that year. But because Sonic Mania was a license to print money and one of the best Sonic games ever made, it saved the company. And then they decided, well, we don't like making 16-bit Sonic. This is what Sega said. We don't like making 16-bit Sonic games. We don't want to print money anymore. So we're going to go make these, fancy, newer, modern graphic Sonic games. And some of them are okay, but they're not as good as Sonic Mania. They're not as good as Sonic 2 or 3. Well, they finally decided, we want to print some money again. We're re-releasing the old classics. Fresh off the press, guys, Sega has given us a brand new trailer. Let's check it out. All the classics are coming back. This is the recently released Sega trailer. Get that diaper on, last chance. Last chance. And there's something special that I'm going to tell you that no one else has really caught on. I'll tell you at the end. So here's Jet Set Radio. Streets of Rage, I guess number 5, and or friggin' remake of a previous Streets of Rage. 2 or 3. Golden Axe in full 3D. Incredible graphics. And this one deserves a pause. This is Crazy Taxi. This franchise I thought was going to be dead forever. I thought they were done with Crazy Taxi after the Xbox version. And the Xbox game wasn't bad. It had its issues, some frame rate issues. I think it was just a product of its time in that it had run its course. It was no longer new and innovative. Still fun, but it wasn't new and innovative. And so the market just it got outshined by other games. I think they're going to introduce some new mechanics. It almost looks like they've got a new mode that you can play where you can be a cop instead of just a taxi. I'm hoping that's what this is. They don't go into detail, but I'm hoping there's a new mode of some sort. Let's go back. And by the way, Shinobi looks awesome. Yeah, Shinobi, as long as it still has fun gameplay, which obviously it should, it's Sega. They've never not made a good Shinobi game. As long as it's still fun, that one's going to sell real well. Golden Axe, that's a no-brainer, guys. This is like 100 million copies could be sold. If they don't mess this up, this is a $100 million seller here. Okay, 100 million copies. It's going to break records. Because I'm going to be buying 10. But look at this crazy taxi. So we have a taxi there, clearly a taxi, but I'm really hoping that that's a new mode. There's other there's other taxis. Is this an online mode where maybe it's like a cops and robbers? Cuz that's what it looks like. I'm really hoping there's some sort of cops and robbers mode. I'm talking online multiplayer and or local multiplayer. Maybe you play 2-player local. One guy is a taxi. He's running around like a madman doing all the crazy taxi stuff. He's trying to pick up the customers. He's dropping the customers off. He's got a time limit. He's in a hurry. But maybe there's another cop. The second player is a cop, and he's trying to catch this guy in the act of speeding around like a maniac doing his crazy taxi business. I don't know exactly how that would work, if it would be split screen or if you have to have two separate Nintendo Switch consoles. That's the beauty of the Nintendo Switch. You can actually do that. You can link up multiple consoles so that you each have your own individual screen. Can't do that on a PS4, can't do that on a PS5, can't do that on a new Xbox, but you can do it on a Nintendo Switch. That's why the Nintendo Switch is so freaking good. But anyways, I'm really excited for Crazy Taxi because I really like that franchise. It was a monster hit on the Dreamcast, and it just kind of lost its luster over time. But here's the part that people are forgetting. Look at the end. Look at this. And more. What do you think the more is? I'll tell you right now what I think the more is. And more. You think they're stopping? No, they're not stopping. They didn't bring back a Dreamcast game, multiple Dreamcast games. They didn't bring back Sega Genesis games to stop there. You know what's coming. I'm telling you right now, we are going to get a Phantasy Star number 5. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen. Okay, they might not call it number 5, but we're gonna get a Phantasy Star game. I'm telling you. And I think they're gonna go back to the JRPG roots of Phantasy Star. None of this action RPG stuff, although they could do a Phantasy Star online game. But actually, I think they already did one of those and it sucked. Like a PC game. Nobody cares about that. But yeah, I mean, they could go action RPG. But they're not going to do it. They're going to go back to the roots. Phantasy Star 4, but updated. Modern graphics like Shinobi, JRPG turn-based. That's what they're going to do. But if they're smart, they're also going to come. They're not going to stop there. I mean, they finally decided they want to print some money. Why not make $1 billion? Why not? Okay, how do you do that? You give us Phantasy Star. You give us Comic Zone. Updated modern graphics. You can do that. I prefer 16-bit, but I know that they don't do that anymore because for whatever reason. Update it, just like Shinobi. Okay, I saw the updated modern graphics with Shinobi. Keep doing that. Keep it side-scroller. Comic Zone. Done. And make it a little bit easier, because the last one was pretty dang hard. I'm an old man gamer now. I like easy games. Back then, I didn't. I liked the difficulty. I liked the challenge when I was younger. I don't like the challenge anymore. Okay, I don't have time for a challenge. I don't have the time. That's the problem. I don't have the time. These kids have all the time in the world. I don't have the time. Make it easy. And you can have a difficulty option for the psychos out there that like it hard. Okay, well, you can put it on hard mode. I'll put mine on easy mode. But here's what else they're going to bring back. They're going to bring back Altered Beast. And they might even make it 3D. Like with
5 hours later.
Golden Axe. I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to give us a 3 frickin' D Altered Beast. And that would be incredible. Just use the same engine. Whatever you just built, Golden Axe in 3D on. Do that again with Altered Beast. Simple, done. You don't even, you just change the sprites and the moves and the monsters. Done. It's so easy. They're gonna, if they do that, it's gonna print money. Okay, here's what else you need to bring back, though. You need to bring back eSWAT, City Under Siege, very underrated Sega Genesis game. One of my favorites. One of my favorites of all time. So friggin' underrated. So underrated. Great game. Make it side scroller. I don't want the 3D on that one. Make it like Shinobi. Keep it side scrolling. And you will make money. Now, if Sega really wants to make $1 billion, they're also going to give us a brand new Gain Ground. That series has been dormant for years. They made one, I think it was only released in Japan. They made a part 2, Gain Ground 2, for the PS2, I think it was. I forget the specifics. It might have been part of one of those Sega compilations. But we haven't really gotten anything. That game is very unique. No one has ever made a game like that game. So what a great time to remake it. It's so simple too. It's not even hard. You could put a team of 2 or 3 on it. Give them 6 months and they'll have it made. Here's the thing. If Sega makes a ton of money doing this, now that they seem to have more than 3 brain cells, I think they might even go back and get the rights to games that were not developed by them. They'll go and purchase the rights to old Sega games, old franchises that have not done anything. Bring back the Immortal for Sega Genesis. Make an Immortal number 2. Immortal number 2. You will print $100 million. And then bring us back Sega Genesis Shadowrun. We've had Shadowrun games since. People love Shadowrun. Okay, it's a little bit niche, but there's a large following for Shadowrun. Check out Shadowrun Trilogy, that strategy RPG that they came, tactical strategy RPG. That was a tactical game. I'm talking bring back the same style, that run and gun RPG Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. $500 billion is how much money you'll make. And I myself, if they actually do it, I myself will go and purchase 10 copies. And I will do it on video. I will go to GameStop. I'll kick open the doors at 9 a.m. when they open. I'll kick them open myself. I won't even wait for the worker to open. As the worker's unlocking the doors from the inside, waiting for me to come in, I will kick those doors open with my boot. I'll have steel toe boot on. Knock that employee right over. I don't even care. And then I'll tell him to get up. I'm buying 10 copies of Shadowrun. Get the hell up. Or I'm going to put this boot through your face. You want my steel toe boot through your face? Get the hell up and give me my 10 copies of Shadowrun. Oh, but sir, we only have 10 copies in stock. I can't give you 10, then no one else can buy it. Shut your mouth. Now it's 20 copies. Put 20 in the bag right now. Oh, you don't have 20? You don't have 20? Well, you better get on the phone with the store down the street and you tell them to bring me another 10 copies. Ship them over here right now. This is serious business because we're talking about Shadowrun. A remake of Shadowrun for the Sega Genesis. This is not a joke. You don't joke around with that kind of stuff. Okay? That kind of stuff will land you in the hospital. So get ready, guys. There's some big things coming. Perhaps some of these games are coming out soon. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to get to over 9,000 subscribers. On my way to collecting over 9,000 retro video games, and that includes Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, hell, even the Sega Saturn. I have Die Hard Arcade, for the Sega Saturn. I don't have a Sega Saturn, but I have Die Hard Arcade, and that's all that matters. And as you may know, I recently got a Sega CD, so I'm collecting Sega CD games as well. Leave a comment below if you can think of any Sega games that I may have missed that they could bring back and remaster and re-release, remake. Leave the comments below, because I do read the comments, guys. I've gotten so many good comments, so many hidden gems that people have posted, and sometimes I buy them. Like, I've actually bought some of these games, and I've played some of these games. So if you think there's something out there that I missed, leave a comment below, and I might actually go and purchase it for whatever console it is that you're referencing.
Yo, yo. Did you save the game?
Really? Of course I did.
Let me reintroduce you.